Different types of bandaging. Cravat bandage for the cheek or ears. There is an alternative approach to bandaging the head, which would be used for the back of the head, the sides of the head or the forehead or the ear. The bandage needs folded into a cravat. Depending on where the injury is, put the middle of the bandage on one side of the head. If the injury is to the ear, put the middle of the bandage over the injured ear. Bring the ends of the bandage around the other side of the head and back to the first side, fixing it in place with a square knot. For bandaging the ear, the cravat should go up diagonally, to leave at least one eye uncovered, then back to the bandage over the ear, where the square knot is tied. The diagram shows the bandaging done for the head. Adapting this to the ear is simple. Hand bandage. The open palm bandage application is applied when the injury on the palm is in vertical or diagonal position. It follows that closing the hand or fist will create more opening of the wound, and this is the reason why the hand is kept open while the bandage is applied. Please be reminded that the illustration below shows the steps on the bandaging only. A dressing should be applied first before the bandage. Fold the triangle bandage into a cravat, then lay the middle portion of the cravat on the gauze padding. Bring the free ends under and over the hand, then back under the wrist and over the hand. Finally, loop the free ends under the wrist again, bring them back over and fix in place with a simple square knot. The diagram below makes this much clearer. Cravat bandage for leg. Bandaging the leg. Bandaging the lower leg, or calf area, but the same technique will work for the thigh, if the thigh is not too large. As with the arm, the triangle bandage needs folded into a cravat. Place the middle of the cravat behind the leg, bringing one side around the front and wrapping upward, then bring the other side around, wrapping downward. 1. Place the center of the cravat over the dressing. 2. Take one end around and up the leg, arm in a spiral motion, and the other end down and around the leg. In a spiral motion, overlapping part of each preceding turn. 3. Bring both ends together and tie them with a square knot. Shoulder armpit cravat. To apply a cravat bandage to the shoulder or armpit. 1. Make an extended cravat bandage by using 2 triangular bandages. Place the end of the first triangular bandage along the base of the second one. 2. Fold the 2 bandages into a single extended bandage. 3. Fold the extended bandage into a single cravat bandage. After folding, secure the thicker part overlapped with 2 or more safety pins. 4. Place the middle of the cravat bandage under the armpit so that the front end is longer than the back end and safety pins are on the outside. 5. Cross the ends on top of the shoulder. 6. Take one end across the back and under the arm on the opposite side and the other end across the chest. Tie the ends. Cravat for elbow. Bandaging the elbow also starts with folding the triangle bandage into a cravat. The injured elbow needs to be positioned to about 90 degrees, and the middle of the cravat placed at the point of the elbow. One side of the cravat is wound once or twice, overlapping about an inch, over the upper arm, the other one, over the part of the arm below the elbow. The free ends of the bandage are tied in a square knot on the inside of the bend of the elbow. To apply a cravat bandage to the elbow. A. Bend the arm at the elbow and place the middle of the cravat at the point of the elbow, bringing the ends upward. B. Bring the ends across, extending both downward. C. Take both ends around the arm and tie them with a non-slip knot at the front of the elbow. Underarm sling cravat. One of the easiest things to do out in the wild is to fall, and the landing will often injure the arm or the shoulder, hopefully just a sprain, possibly a fracture. Either way, there will be need for a sling to support the wounded extremity. To make a triangle bandage into a sling, start by putting the bandage with the right angle off to the side and just above the elbow on the injured side with the long side going roughly up and down, over the middle of the chest. Have the victim hold the arm against the bandage to lock it in place. Move the victim's hand up, so that the knuckle of the fifth digit, the pinky finger, is about a hand's breadth above the crook of the injured elbow. That done, take the lower end of the bandage upward and around the victim's neck, on the side away from the injured limb, bringing it behind the neck and tying it to the other end of the bandage. To create a pouch to support the elbow, bring the right angle of the bandage forward and pin it to the front of the sling. The hole should be just tight enough to lift the load of the arm off the shoulder. Head top. For head injuries, bandaging the scalp is only modestly more challenging than what we've already done. Begin by folding the long edge over itself 3 times, about an inch or an inch and a half wide. Having done that, drape the bandage over the scalp, with the right angle going down the back of the neck and the middle of the folded part over the forehead. Bring the 2 ends of the folded part behind the head and to the middle of the scalp. To minimize the risk of this slipping up, put the folded part under the occiput, that's the bump you can feel on the back of your skull. Tie a square knot in the middle of the forehead to anchor the bandage. Then, take the right angle and fold it up, tightening the part over the scalp, then tucking the end into the folded part. If possible, and pinning it in place with a safety pin, it is much clearer. To apply a triangular bandage to the head, 1. Turn the base longest side of the bandage up and center its base on center of the forehead, letting the point apex fall on the back of the neck. 2. Take the ends behind the head and cross the ends over the apex. 3. Take them over the forehead and tie them. 4. Tuck the apex behind the crossed part of the bandage and or secure it with a safety pin, if available. Dressing wound bandaging. 1. Grasp the tails in both hands. 2. Hold the dressing with the white, or cleanest, side down directly over the wound. 3. Pull the dressing open and place it directly over the wound. If the casualty is able, he may hold the dressing in place. 4. Hold the dressing in place with one hand and use the other hand to wrap one of the tails around the body. 5. Wrap the other tail in the opposite direction until the dressing is completely covered. Leave enough of the tail for a knot. 6. Loosely tie the tails with a non-slip knot at the casualty's side. Arm sling cravat. One of the easiest things to do out in the wild is to fall, and the landing will often injure the arm or the shoulder, hopefully just a sprain, possibly a fracture. Either way, there will be need for a sling to support the wounded extremity. To make a triangle bandage into a sling, start by putting the bandage with the right angle off to the side and just above the elbow on the injured side with the long side going roughly up and down, over the middle of the chest. Have the victim hold the arm against the bandage to lock it in place. Move the victim's hand up, so that the knuckle of the 5th digit, the pinky finger, is about a hand's breadth above the crook of the injured elbow. That done, take the lower end of the bandage upward and around the victim's neck, on the side away from the injured limb, bringing it behind the neck and tying it to the other end of the bandage. To create a pouch to support the elbow, bring the right angle of the bandage forward and pin it to the front of the sling. The hole should be just tight enough to lift the load of the arm off the shoulder.